Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the all-time high close for the weekly, the highest weekly close in history now on Bitcoin. If we go to the weekly, what do we got going on? It looks beautiful. Look at this beautiful, big, large candle straight up in the air. It's actually quite a large weekly candle. So this one was about a 12.12%. The last biggest one was 10.9. Is this one of the biggest ones that we've had? Yeah, it might be really close. It's really close to this one we had right here. You can see after this weekly close, we had 2 more weeks up. We could easily see something like this. Once you get these big, large green weekly candles, especially because we've had a bunch of small little candles in this pullback, you can see right here another huge weekly candle, and we could see another 1-2 weeks of large weekly green candles coming for Bitcoin, looking quite good. And this is what we're kind of waiting for, especially if you're holding altcoins. You are kind of waiting right now for Bitcoin to make some new highs, and I think we're going to get some big candles into price discovery. I think we're about in that time. You can see kind of when we get into these areas where we have an all-time high and then we pull back into here. Let me clean up the chart just a little bit, make it a little bit more obvious for you here. But when you get in these all-time highs, you get a pullback, you start getting these very large green candles, and usually that'll push you pretty hard through the all-time high. This was kind of just a sweep, this last one, but if we look at some of these other ones here, you can see like this is the one from March 2024. You have this big push into the all-time high region, kind of some consolidation for a couple months, and then a big green weekly push through it, and then a continuation. I'm expecting something like that. We are now closing weekly candles above resistance. We closed one weekly candle here, and then we kind of lost some steam. So as long as we continue this momentum, I think we're going to be getting into some very large numbers. I still am thinking that we could easily hit 200,000 in the next couple of months here. If we want it, I think we need to start making some big moves really soon. Again, if we go to logarithmic view, this was kind of my price target from a long time ago. Right about now, I was thinking that we were going to be about 200K. Now, of course, this is plus or minus a couple months. If we just look at timing from other cycles, we're in the area where we should be making tops. Now, could it be a lot lower? Yeah, it could. It definitely could. But I still think we're going to see some very large candles into, I don't know what the catalyst is going to be here, but I think we're going to start really overperforming for Bitcoin. Altcoins have been kind of outperforming Bitcoin for a while now. If we go to Bitcoin dominance, if we go to daily, even weekly, you can see a lot of altcoins since about June. Yeah, since about June, altcoins have been outperforming. You can see Bitcoin dominance falling sharply. I think we're going to get, we've already had 3 weeks to the upside of Bitcoin dominance. We might get maybe one more week here. I think maybe we'll get up into 60% Bitcoin dominance, maybe retest this bull market support band at 60.6. Now, again, Bitcoin dominance does not have to go up on a dump. It can, but can also go up on a pump. So if we see a big pump from Bitcoin, a lot of the liquidity will flow back into Bitcoin. And I think that might happen for a week. It doesn't mean altcoins are going to dump yet again. They may kind of just hang out. They may get a little bit of a dump, or they just might get a little bit of a pump while Bitcoin absolutely just rockets up. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. If we go look at the USDT dominance, we've kind of been just like hanging out right here at this resistance line. You can see, I don't know, right about here. We're on the weekly, so if we go to like the daily, we've been struggling to close daily candles below about 4%. So what I'm expecting to happen is we'll get some more pumpage, and I think this will finally come down and start closing behind it. And then I'm really hoping we can get a new low for USDT dominance. Right now they're printing a lot of stable coins, so this kind of has just been naturally going up. But usually when people are in stable coins, that means they're out of cryptocurrencies. If we look at USDT, let me clean up the chart a little bit, it's a little bit messy. If we look at USDT plus USDC, same thing. I'm looking for this to kind of break down. We do have this rising wedge pad, or falling wedge, which is bullish, which is bad for crypto, but you can see we've kind of pulled out into here. And again, I'm looking for this to come make a new low down here below about 5%. I think once we start getting a breakdown here, I think that's going to be a good target to start taking some profits. And again, I think we're kind of getting close to the end of the cycle here. So I think we're going to start seeing the most parabolic phase where we're going to be doing lots of up only. And that's kind of when I will be starting to take some profits. I haven't taken a lot of profits so far this cycle. I've been actually holding cryptocurrency since 2017-ish. So I've been holding a lot of them, and it's about time to start offloading some of these. Others dominance has kind of been flirting with the bull market support band, trying to almost break down here. But you can see, if I draw this here, you can see we've been coming down, 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 and now we're kind of starting to roll over here. So I'm expecting this to continue to go back up once Bitcoin stops having some very large parabolic moves. So we might see one fake out to the downside, and then I think this is going to go quite parabolic, you know, something back here. You can see this is November of 2024. I'm expecting a big run like this. This was kind of the last real alt season, was October 2024. If I go to the altcoin season metric, what do we got going on here? So if we go over here, this is ITC into the cryptoverse. It is a premium subscription, but you can see the altcoin season metric in, you know, a lot of different websites, so you don't need it for this. But again, here we go. And on the 90-day, it looks like we're kind of coming a little bit out of altcoin season. Now, the last time, you know, we've had some big moves into it, they just really haven't been sustained moves on the 90-day. If we go to like 60-day or even 30-day, you can see 30-day, we're basically back into Bitcoin season. So again, I think Bitcoin's going to outperform for maybe a week or two here, and then we're going to blast back into these altcoin seasons. Can we see pullbacks? Yes, of course we can see pullbacks. We're definitely going to see pullbacks on the way up. It's not going to be up only. I do think, though, Monday is usually a dump day, right? And I just don't know that we're going to get that today. For a couple different reasons. You can see that on the daily chart here, we're just continuing to make higher highs. And another thing is we're going into the bull moon on Tuesday. So I talk about the bull moon a lot. If I go to, you know, let's put my trading indicators back on. And if I turn my little moon cycle indicator, I have both of these indicators for free. If you want to just go grab them, just search DHY2. YT Dan Heilman YouTube, and you can get these moon cycle indicators and these moving averages. You can see we are getting right into this window here. It's kind of hard to see. Let me just go nothing, and then let me just pop this guy in here. You can see here we go. If we go to like the daily, we are coming into, here we go. This green line is the moon cycles. So it is, you know, Tuesday-ish, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to have the full moon. And we usually pump when we hit these. You can see we usually kind of pump into it and then continue to pump through it. So I think we're going to get some more pumpage, and I think we're going to get a pullback, I don't know, maybe second or third week of October after seeing a very large run. That's kind of my base case on what we're going to see. Now, it's not, of course, just based on moon cycles, but this kind of gives me some confidence here because it's kind of like these 60-day cycles that we see big moves for Bitcoin, and I think we're going to continue in that cycle here. So that's what I'm kind of expecting. Again, let's look at some of the other altcoins here. Let me delete some of this here. Delete. I think we're gonna get something very similar. So now let's go to, you know, ETH dominance right now is even, you know, kind of putting in a cycle low, and I think ETH dominance is going to start moving again once Bitcoin has some moves. What else is doing very well? Binance has been making new all-time highs. The crime lord himself, Binance, has been, you know, dumping a crazy amount of Solana, which keeps the Solana price down, but somehow pumping the price of Binance as well. There's been some changes to Binance fees, etc., that have been, I guess, looking pretty good. These coins like Binance and Crow and these different exchange coins do very well. So I'm expecting this one to still go much higher, but again, that one's looking good. Dogecoin, the biggest meme coin, looks like it maybe wants to start moving up again in terms of dominance. Litecoin dominance has broken out of this, which is very nice. I think we're going to see some outperformance for Litecoin as well. A lot of the older coins, they call them Dino coins, you know, Dino coins, dinosaur coins. I think they're going to be doing very well. Crow coin might be in for some more outperformance soon. So a lot of these are moving up. Dot. A lot of these are also getting some ETFs quite soon, and I think that's going to propel the price. If the government ever comes back online, I think they're going to see some outperformance, especially once we get that ETF approval. ETH Bitcoin looks like it's like, you know, almost trying to fake out of this bull flag, but I think this is still going to go much higher. This was originally my prediction from 2 years ago for the Bitcoin all-time high. We are at a Bitcoin all-time high. So, hey, look at that. I got it almost to the day here. What is that? The 6th? That's today. So we'll see if we make a new all-time high. But this is what I was thinking it was going to be the total all-time high. But it looks like we're running a little bit slower than we have some previous cycles. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to delete that now. That was my, I guess I'll leave it there for a while. What else we got going on? Sol Bitcoin. Looking like maybe we're bottomed and we might start to move up again. Litecoin Bitcoin, we are in this kind of bull flag here. You can draw this a couple different ways, but if you're drawing it, you know, something like this, you can see we are looking like we've kind of just tested the top of this bull flag, and maybe we're going to start trying to move out of this. Again, big moves for Bitcoin will mean big moves for other coins as well. What else we got going on here? Neo Bitcoin is one that I've been talking about a while. This one looks like it's almost like triple bottomed here. So I do expect Neo to do very well. This is kind of like the Chinese Ethereum. They are, you know, going to get into stable coins, etc. So I do expect this one to do quite well. Maybe this is the bottom in terms of Bitcoin for that one. XRP has just kind of been underperforming. It already has this massive move where it's already moved up, you know, 376%. It is the largest market cap altcoin now. So I don't really expect this one to be very outperforming. I bought a bunch at 50 cents and I sold a bunch at like 360. I do still have about, I don't know, maybe half of what I originally got. So I'm maybe looking for one more big pump, but I don't expect this one to do crazy multiples from here just because it's already had kind of its day. Dot Bitcoin looks like it's trying to kind of bottom as well. Obviously it's been bleeding for a long time, but if you're looking for like a trade, a short-term trade, feel free to, you know, pick up some of these. Dot is going to be a good one. Litecoin is going to be a good one. Neo is going to be a good one. A lot of these, you know, especially bigger cap alts, they're going to move a little bit quicker. Like even stuff like XTZ looks like maybe it's bottoming and you might see another big move like this. So this was a kind of a nice move. It kind of fully retraced, which is not amazing to see. But yeah, we'll see what's going on. There's a contest right now, kind of a promotion from Bitunix. If you do want to trade, I'll put the details up front, but there's like a 20% extra bonus if you do want to sign up for an account. So amazing time if you want to sign up. You can leverage trade there if you want, and you can also just buy spot. And they also have a lot of, you know, if you want to do no KYC, etc. It's a good place to get any sort of spot, any sort of futures, and the fees are very low. So they're a partner of the channel and I highly recommend them. So they're looking like one of the better exchanges for sure. I've been using them for quite a long time. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Pepe against almost made a new low. Maybe we're coming down for like a double bottom in this area, but a lot of these altcoins have kind of just been, you know, doing these big pumps and then kind of retraces, big pumps, retraces. And a lot of these are not in all-time highs. Like even, you know, Solana, let me clean up the chart again. You know, even Solana is not quite an all-time high. Again, as I said, we had this last kind of altcoin season, you know, between November-ish and January. And you can see, you know, Solana went all the way up to $294. I do expect it to even make another higher high. Same thing for Doge. I mean, it's nowhere near its cycle high. You know, the cycle high is still about 50 cents and we're down at 25 cents. So that's an easy 100% back to its old cycle high. Even ADA, you know, we had this massive move from ADA all the way down here. Look at this move. I mean, this was an amazing move by ADA, 300%. Again, I'm expecting altcoins to do this again, and I think that's going to happen in the next couple months. That is my base case is, you know, Bitcoin does a big move, and then again, rotation into higher caps like ETH, Solana, etc., AVAX, all of these. These are kind of the top 20 coins here. Binance, all of these, AVAX, even SUI is, I think, I don't know, top 25 or so, but I expect these to start outperforming. I do have some leverage trades open right now. This is kind of the bunch of leverage trades I have, and I'm expecting some of these to see some big moves. These are kind of smaller coins. I'm just kind of been accumulating as the price has come down on a lot of these. I've just been picking up, you know, small amounts of these as they go down. I still have most of my capital ready in case we get another dip. I want to put more capital in, and I want to hold these leverage trades for, you know, a couple months here, because I think we're going to get into the season of outperformance. I have a good amount of Litecoin that I'm expecting to do very well. Even Fartcoin has been massively sold down. We had this massive cup and handle pattern that literally just got rejected and said, never mind, I'm not going to go to $9. So then we kind of even had this falling wedge that even like kind of broke back down to the downside. But I do expect these to move again. So that is kind of my base case on what's going on. Again, I think we're going to see some outperformance on Bitcoin for a while, and then I think that will rotate back into these. And another reason why I think that is we're continuing to put in new highs in the SPY. S&P 500 is continuing to put new highs. A lot of the crypto mining stocks, even Bitmine Immersion Technologies, one of the ones I hold, is looking like it wants to break out of here. And you can see last time we had a big breakout here. We had a nice, 18,000% move, 1,800% move, sorry. So I am expecting to see another big move for that. We have, Hive, all these miners, CLSK, they're all trying to make new highs right now. Riot, IREN is literally pre-market into a new high again, right? So even if we scroll way back here, this is a new all-time high for them in pre-market already. Coinbase is even moving up. It's going to come up into some resistance here. A lot of these are doing very well. So I think these are going to continue to outperform. MSTR is even coming back, which is good. I didn't want to see this one completely roll over and die yet, because usually this is kind of, it kind of leads Bitcoin, right? So this one had an all-time high before Bitcoin did. And then now you can see Bitcoin is catching up like crazy. I didn't want this to roll over yet because I was thinking maybe if this rolls over, maybe that's kind of, some foreshadowing on what's going to happen to Bitcoin. But a lot of these are going to start moving and are continuing to move. The stock market, again, is up. We're seeing a long U.S. government shutdown, and I think that's going to continue dropping the U.S. dollar and pumping, stocks and cryptos. So that's going to be it for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. I got a little bit of a cold, so sorry, my throat's a little bit scratchy here, so I didn't get a video out Friday, and it was kind of just a crazy day. But I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. Press that like button. And again, if you want to sign up for Bitunix, amazing exchange. We have a very nice little bonuses right now, 20% if you put anything in there. So hope you guys enjoyed the content. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys.